Hello beautiful, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Mawaheb. Today's video I want to finally retest the A05 coconut soy from London Luxury Supplies, which looks like this. And I got the tester sample, which is a 1 kg sample. I didn't want to buy too much just in case. It's a wax that I'm not thinking to rebuy, but I will make my decision after testing this wax with you today. I'm extremely excited to retest this wax, so without further ado, let's head down to our candle station. Okay beautiful, let's get started and measure our wax. So just to give you a bit of an idea, I decided to go for the TB wicks. As you guys know, they've been working really well with my soy waxes, with my soy and coconut waxes, and also my rapeseed and coconut wax. So I've decided to go for a TB12 and a TB14 in my 30 centiliter candle container. And if I bring you closer, I've decided to also go for the wood wick. I just want to see how that works with the A05, and this wood wick is from London Luxury Supplies as well, so I'm looking forward to see how that burns in my 20 centiliter. Let's go ahead and start measuring the wax. I can't wait. I haven't tested this out in a while, so I'm looking forward to see how it will burn, how it will work with me, and everything that you guys like to know about a wax when I test it out. And just to give you a closer look, that's how it looks like. It's pretty creamy wax, to be honest. It melts in your hands. It's amazing. A blend of soy and coconut. I'm gonna go for 407 grams of wax for both of my 30 centiliter candle containers. .407 grams of wax. I'm going to pop that onto my double boiler. While my wax is melting, I'm going to measure my wax for my 20 centiliter candle container, and for that I will need 144 grams worth of wax. Make sure you tear your scale. That's all measured up. I'll keep that on the side until my wax is fully melted, the one that's on the stove. Let me give my scale a bit of a clean. Right, I'm going to move on to measuring my fragrance, and I'm going to start with my wood wick candle. I'm going to go for 11 grams worth of fragrance oil, and I'm using Baltic, amber and clove. That's all measured up. While I am here, I'm going to measure my tonka and tobacco flower, and I'm going to go for 33 grams worth of fragrance, all measured up, so that way my fragrances are ready when my wax is ready. My wax is all melted and I'm at 64 degrees. When I took it off my stove, it was at 66 degrees, so it's cooling pretty fast. I think I'm gonna pour my fragrance oil in at 60 degrees and see how well the fragrance binds with my wax at 60 degrees. And for my wood wick candle, I'm actually going to go for a little bit lower at 55 degrees and see how well that does for my wax. We're at 61 degrees, almost at 60 degrees. I'm just going to give it a second. There we go. Pour my fragrance in. That's how the wax looks like melted. And give it a good mix. After mixing for 2 minutes, I've decided to wait a while before I pour into my candle jar, and I'm at currently 50 degrees, and the congealing point for this wax is at 45 degrees, which means it doesn't start to cool down until 45 degrees, but I'm happy with pouring at 50 degrees. So let's go ahead and pour into our candle jars. And I also have my second batch of candle wax. I'm just going to wait until 55 degrees and pour in my fragrance, but let's go ahead and pour into the candle jar. Okay, I'm at 55 degrees. Gonna pour my candle, sorry, I'm just gonna pour my fragrance oil. And give it a good mix. I'm at 46 degrees right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pour into my candle container. Good morning lovelies, my candles have completely cured and my wood wick over here is off center a little bit, but that's fine. I tend to struggle a little bit with wood wicks to center them. I'm a lot more confident with centering cotton wicks. Let me show you a closer look of how the tops look like. I do have a bit of a sinkhole here and a little bit rough tops around the edges, but as in the center of the candle looks pretty smooth. Moving on, I do have a little bit of wrinkling, as you guys can see here by the wick, but other than that it's a pretty smooth candle, and this actually looks like a pretty smooth candle as well. Now that you've seen the results of the candles, let me go through the cold throw with you guys a little bit. So as you guys saw, I poured my 30 centiliters with the same temperature, and with my 20 centiliter I poured at a different temperature, and that's into my candle glass and my fragrance oil. With my 20 centiliter, which is the clear glass, as you guys can see here, it's a beautiful candle adhesion, and it has been 24 hours since I've made the candles. I do want to see how the candle adhesion will react to temperature changes and see if that candle will eventually pull away. And the top is actually pretty smooth and creamy as well. I don't feel like it left a really bad top like the S41 tends to leave a really bad top. With this it left a good top, but I do need a heat gun on all of my candles just to smooth it out a little bit and get rid of any imperfections. I poured my fragrance at 55 degrees and I feel like I can't smell the fragrance as well as I could. Normally when I do Baltic Amber or Clove with S41 or with Kerosene, I tend to smell it a lot better than I did with the A05. If I was to rate the cold throw, I would give it about a 5 out of 10. I think it could do a little bit better. And as for my 30 centiliters candle jar, this is tonka and tobacco flower, and I poured my fragrance oil at 60 degrees Celsius, and it smells a lot better and a lot stronger than pouring at 55 degrees. I have been pouring my fragrance oils recently with almost every wax that I've tested at 60 degrees, and I feel like it holds the fragrance really well with my wax. So now that I've tested the fragrance oil at 55 degrees with this candle, I definitely think the 60 degree works a lot better, and I'm sure TB12 smells just the same. Right, let's go through the wax a little bit just so we can understand what we're working with. So A05, as you know, it is from London Luxury Supplies, and anything that I've used in today's video will be linked down below. If you want to read a lot more about coconut soy, again, I'll leave the website down below and you guys can have a read for yourself. But just to give you the basics of the wax, it has a beautifully creamy appearance, fantastic scent throw and container adhesion. I'm definitely going to be doing a burn test video for this, and a complete agree with a creamy finish. It definitely does have that, as you guys can see, like the camera picks up very clearly. A05 Superior Cocoa Soy is the first ready to use flaked coconut soy blend on the market, and a great sign of manufacturers shifting focus towards ethics and sustainability. The cocoa soy is cruelty-free and vegan-friendly, which means it contains no animal byproduct and animals are not used at any stage of its production, which is what we love to hear. Some facts about the coconut soy. A05, it has a fantastic container adhesion which is resistant to frosting. I definitely don't see any frosting, and it has been super cold in London recently, so I don't see any frosting, and it definitely is creamy, and it has a good glass adhesion so far. Again, I do want to test it in a few days time and see how the glass adhesion may react with different types of temperatures. It's got anti-shrink properties, an even wall-to-wall burn pull, a high fragrance tolerance between 8 to 10%, and it absorbs fragrance oils really well, resulting in an amazing hot and cold scent throw. A beautiful creamy soy finish which remains firm. And then they go on and talk about how testing is super important. Carry out your own testing. Different types of wick series, jars, fragrances and waxes. Always carry out your own testing, you guys, and see what works best for your candle testing. Some technical information about the A05 would be the melt point is at 47.5 degrees Celsius. So that is the point where the candle will start melting. The congealing point is at 43 degrees, and that's the point where the candle will start cooling. The suggested heating range is between 65 to 75 degrees Celsius, and the suggested pouring range is between 45 to 65 degrees Celsius. Also, the maximum fragrance load is between 8 to 10%, and I use 8% fragrance load for all my candle wax, you guys. I feel like it's the perfect amount of fragrance load that I can use with my waxes. And they also say A05 is the perfect wax for candle makers of all experience levels. It has an amazing creamy soil finish, fantastic wall adhesion, resulting in an amazing finished candle. It is relatively easy to work and ready to go on any high-end retail shelf. Basically, that's everything that you need to know about your A05. I mean, I personally felt that it worked super easy with me. I didn't feel like it was hard. I followed the instructions pretty well, and they're pretty easy to follow as well. I definitely always recommend when you're testing any wax, test them with different types of pour temperatures, that's pouring into your candle jar, and also your fragrance. Take this video as an example where I poured my fragrance in at 55 degrees and another candle at 60 degrees to see what works best for my fragrance and my wax to bind together, and I found 60 degrees of course worked better. And yeah, you guys, that's basically about it for today's video. I had so much fun filming this video. I remember filming this video about 2 years ago, so it's always nice to do a refresher for my old videos, and to also give me a second chance to test out the waxes again, because I didn't actually buy the coconut soil or any waxes from the London luxury supplies again. So it's always nice to retest and to see what actually works best for me as well. Recently the rapeseed and coconut and the S41 have been working amazingly. I'm also thinking to switch waxes from Carasoil to S41. Rapeseed and coconut is definitely going to be a wax I'm going to be using for my essential oils, you guys. It held the essential oils so well, a lot better than Carasoil. So I literally bought a big batch to keep it at home and to test essential oils with. A little bit off topic, you guys, I went through my candle stock the other day, which is what I like to do, and to see what is missing, what I need more of, what I need less of. The wicks that I'm using more of, so Eco and TCR for example, they're not wicks that I have been using a lot recently, which is so interesting. I completely switched to TB and a Stabilo and a CL wick. I was so strong and focused on Eco and TCR when I first started, and right now like my wick decision making has changed to a different wick family. And I've also been testing out pillar waxes as well, you guys, which is what I want to film for you. But for me to do pillar candles, I tend to use pre-waxed wicks, which come very long for big pillar molds. So I need more of that, so we have to wait until payday, you guys, to do that. And also the video that you guys watched last week about my basics 101 about cotton wicks is doing excellent. You guys loved that video, and I think I'm actually going to do more videos like this where they're a lot more informative, where you can write down notes and kind of, you know, just to understand a little bit more about your candle, especially for those of you that have just started out. And there has been a flood of you subscribing to my channel that I have just started out with candle making, so I think these type of videos will help instead of me having to test wax after wax with you guys. It's nice to balance an informative video and also a testing video out week after week. Sorry, that was a bit of a rambling moment. Please make sure that you click that subscribe button down below, like, comment, share, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.